Hello friends, hope you're all doing well. Now in this video, I'm going to tell you about what is the service model of cloud computing. I mean to say, what are the services model that are provided by cloud computing. The importance of this topic is a lot because when you want to learn cloud computing, the services models, which are actually the cloud computing, is very important for a beginner, for every person to learn, and to know about it is very much important. And that's why this model is also called as SPI model. SPI stands for Software Platform and Infrastructure Model, and it has been divided into three categories, that is IaaS, PaaS, and there is SaaS. So let's get started and know what does all the categories of service model of cloud computing mean without wasting any further time. Okay, so let's start with the service models here. As you know that service model of cloud computing are basically divided into three categories. I mean, their working is divided into three categories because when you as a person start using cloud computing, you have your own requirements. You want to use software, you want to use infrastructure, you want to develop your web applications, then you might need platform as a service. So it depends upon the user, it depends upon the consumer who is using the service provided by the cloud computing, and hence that's why the service model of cloud computing have been you can say differentiated among each other, and that's why we are learning here service model. So let's start. Service models can be defined as the type of service that the service provider is offering to us. The cloud provider has a number of services to give to us, and it depends upon the user which service he wants to use. The service model involves the vendor. Who is the vendor? Vendor is the cloud provider who is providing the cloud computing services to us. I mean, who is also responsible for managing for a lot of things. And client means the user who is responsible for accessing the service. We as a user, when we want to use any software, when we want to use any platform for using our web applications, I will tell more in detail about it. But whenever any kind of service that we as a person want to use, we just go to the cloud computing services and just start accessing it depending upon which service that we want. So the service offered by cloud computing are broadly categorized into three categories. So let's just understand what are the three categories which are provided by cloud computing. Okay, so here is the SPI model. SPI model is also the name for the service model provided by cloud computing. Actually, there are three broadly categorized services. First is software, infrastructure, and platform as a service. That's why it is being called as SPI, software, platform, and infrastructure as a service. Okay, so here comes the software as a service. Software accessible via a web browser or lightweight client applications. So when you as a user try to use any software which is freely available on the web browser, you just simply go and try to start using it. And the resources of computing are managed by the vendor. You need not to worry about the storage. You need not to worry about the storage occupied by your device or your PC, because the storage is provided to you by default by the application. You just need to log in there and start accessing it. So it is an on-demand service. On-demand service means whenever you wish to use the software, you start accessing it, provided that you must have an internet connection, and is actually available for multiple end users. Not only you, but multiple end users are using these softwares for accessing their services. Okay, so here come the examples of SaaS, that is software as a service. So the first one that you are seeing here is actually Google Suite provides us a lot of applications which you can access. I'm simply giving you some of the Google Suite applications here, like Gmail, Google Drive, Calendar. There are so many which are provided. There are slides, there is you can say there is sheets, and so many services that are provided by them. Google YouTube you're using, Google services, Google applications. This is one of the best, you can say, software as a service provided by the Google. Then comes the Salesforce, then comes the Microsoft 365. There you can use Word, Excel, spreadsheet, OneNote, and so many things, so many web applications that you want to access it online without using your own storage. So these are the example of SaaS, that means software as a service, that you are accessing in your web browser without any need to install it on your PC. And here comes the platform as a service. The platform as a service encapsulates the environment where user can build, compile, and run their programs. So what does that mean? That means you are giving a platform where you can build, you can compile, and you can run your programs. You can actually make web applications there, provided that you must know any programming language like Java, C++, or any other. PaaS helps in building, testing, deploying, managing, and updating the web applications. So there are so many services that are provided by them. Okay, so there are so many examples of PaaS. First is AWS, that is the most popular one, which stands for Amazon Web Services, most popular and the most widely accepted Amazon Web Services. Second comes Microsoft Azure. Third comes the Google App Engine, the Google Cloud there. This is the third one also in ranking. So the first one is Amazon. On the ranking of second one is Microsoft Azure, and the third one is Google App Engine. And there are so many examples of that. That is Oracle as well. And in that AWS, you start accessing your platform and start building your web applications. These services are provided by the cloud infrastructure. Obviously, these are the cloud providers who provide us these services, and you are charged on some rental basis, or first you just create your platform, it's free of cost, and you start accessing it. So next, now comes the infrastructure as a service. Now it helps in data storage, virtualization, servers, and networking. Actually, let us understand what is infrastructure. I mean, you are having an infrastructure, you as a user, when you want the whole IT infrastructure without need to worry about the technicalities, without need to worry about installing on your own place, on your own physical location. You just simply want to have a service where you can store your things, where you can store a number of business things like your data, your networks, and all that stuff. So used for website hosting also, such as web server and operating system stack are put on VMs. VM stands for virtualization monitors, where I have told you about virtualization. You can click on the I button given above. Then comes where they can easily take advantage of cloud features such as easy scaling, global availability managed environment, geographical load balancing, special content delivery. I mean, you can just simply manage your environment. You can just scale your environment because you are now being provided with a virtualized machine. You are now being provided with a server which you can access, which you can make a lot of things through your server. I mean, you can expand your network. I mean, you can store a lot of stuff onto that network, provided it is used for pay per use basis. So I mean, it is like for the time that you are paying, and by the time they are giving you the service. And now comes the IaaS examples. So the first one is Amazon Web Services, which I have previously told you that it is also an IaaS service, infrastructure service, and the iCloud by Apple, the Google Cloud by Google App Engine, and the Microsoft Azure. So you can simply go to their websites, start accessing it, start using their infrastructure where you can expand your business, where you can expand your facilities, where you can use to just simply not to expand your business locally but also globally. I hope you have enjoyed this session and learned what are the services model of cloud computing. In my next video, I will tell you what are the deployment models provided by the cloud computing. And don't forget to comment, share, subscribe to my channel for more such tutorials and knowledge related videos on the channel, that is the Learning Pen. Thank you.